What's your recipe for the perfect URL structure? I mean, like, how do you keep it clean and effective in that
Give
way?
me a city that's only 40, 50, 60, 70,000. I
Yeah,
don't even need a website.
seen a lot in the Facebook groups,
Yeah.
especially where the people they say, "Hey, what is the best URL structure I should put it for my multi-location place?"
Without citations, without backlinks, without any of that. Depending on the niche and depending on
You consistently get the websites ranked on the first page of Google. What's the secret sauce behind that?
why would I do 1,000 backlinks when I may only need 4 or 5?
Hey, welcome back to the Agy Grow Life podcast. And today we have incredible William Jones with us from William Jones Marketing. With over 20 years of experience in the marketing SEO industry, William has a strong passion and desire to help business owners. And today we are diving deep into the magic of ranking on Google's first page, improving crawl budget, and so much more. So grab your wizard hats and SEO vans because this episode is going to be the next level with William. Welcome to the show, William. It's great to have you
Hey,
here, ready to dive into the secrets of local SEO with you. So, how are you doing
nice to be with you. Doing good.
today?
Doing good here in the Philippines. So,
So, how's the weather over there? Good?
oh, it's like I just came from outside. I was sitting at, you could literally see the beach in front of us, and we have these little cabana houses.
Oh, yeah.
And it's real breezy generally because we're right on the beach. We're right on the beach. It's just breezy most of the time. We'll go up to the third floor and sit up there, and it's real breezy. Just generally until about like now, but after about now, between
Yeah.
12 and 3, it generally gets really, really hot, and
Oh, yeah.
and it won't be so breezy anymore. So it's been
Yeah.
raining, quite a bit in the last few past days, but it's not raining today, which is a good thing. So we can go out and enjoy the sun.
Oh, that's super good, man. All right. No, that's really good. Weather is good. All right. So
Yep.
let's start with a $1 million question. I always say, like, how do you consistently get the websites ranked on the first page of Google? What's the secret sauce behind that?
So for me, it's always been whether you believe in AI or whether you believe in the most recent Google leak or you're in some SEO group and you believe all the crap that you hear in there.
Yeah.
It's always been the same for me. It's okay. You want to rank at the top pack or a 3 pack of Google Maps or in organic, find the top 3 people that are doing it and reverse engineer whatever they're doing. I just literally go, okay, who's in, let's say, the plumbing niche in this specific city, find out what they're doing, how many pages they got, what's their website structure look like, what's their website theme or template look like, even that so much, what's their call to actions look like, and reverse engineer it, and then add a little bit of what I do on top of it. It's generally local SEO for me is not that complicated. You don't need that many backlinks or citations and all this other magical crap
Yep.
everybody wants to sell. It's generally speaking, reverse engineer what someone else is doing. This person may have 1,000 backlinks and some may be really good, and this person may only have 4 or 5. So why would I do 1,000 backlinks when I may only need 4 or 5?
Yeah.
So this niche you have, 3,000 reviews or 100 reviews, and this niche over here is in the top 3 and they only got 4.
Hmm.
So one's going to be more important depending on what area you're in, what niche you're in, what
Yep.
type of competition you're in, what's the population, stuff like that. So that's
Yep.
what I generally look at. I don't look at all the new SEO tools. I don't get distracted by the noise in the SEO industry. I'm in probably 2 SEO groups besides the 3 that I own.
Yeah.
That's why I laugh when I hear a lot of the Williams doing this or Williams doing that. I'm like, Williams is literally not in any of your groups, bro. And I don't even pay attention to what's going on because it's just too much noise and distraction. And when you're trying to run a business, which is what most people that are coming to you for, when they're coming to you for SEO, they're
Yep.
coming to you as a business owner.
Yeah.
Most business owners don't hang out in SEO groups.
No, true.
SEOs hang out in SEO groups. So um, that's where my main focus on, like I was talking to you earlier, is I have someone on sales, I have someone that does customer service, the onboarding. The main thing like I concentrate on personally is the marketing. The
Mm.
marketing. That's what I will never get away from, probably unless I meet someone, is the marketing aspect of it.
Now I'll definitely touch the marketing point very soon as well. But so when you say the first page of ranking, or you say about the three pack, is it
Mm-hmm.
three pack? It's all about optimizing the Google GPP and
So
the
no, no. I mean, most people, they look at, okay, depending on the niche, once again, I can rank a Google My Business listing without a website,
oh yeah,
without any of that, without citations, without backlinks, without any of that. Depending on the niche and depending on the area. I mean,
yeah,
if you give me a city that's only 40, 50, 60, 70,000, I
yeah,
don't even need a website. I mean, now you're going to need to get a website with Google getting rid of the sites, the free site type stuff. But
yeah,
you're going to need to get a website with that. But that speaking, you don't need all the backlinks, the press releases, all these fancy smancy tools. Um, Now to get it ranked, there's the algorithms are different. So the algorithm from MatPack is different from the organic. There's
yeah,
different factors. Although they're very similar. Okay.
yeah,
So for me, what I always say is your GMB should reflect or mirror your website. Your website should mirror your GMB. So
yeah,
if you have 10 different services that are on your website, those
mm,
services should be put in as
yeah,
services onto your Google My Business listing.
true.
If
Yep,
it's not on your website, it doesn't need to be on your GMB. If you
yep,
have a service area that you mentioned, let's say 4 cities on your website, you damn well better mention those 4 cities on your Google My Business listing.
mm,
Your reviews, same reason why I say you want to embed your reviews on your homepage of your website, because they're on your Google My Business listing.
mm,
Google, the other factor I looked at and why we wound up making the tool when we first came out with it was and everybody builds location pages their own way. And people will say, well, they don't rank. And I tell them to say, well, your location pages don't rank. Your location pages don't index. Mine rank and index, and
mm,
generally speaking can rank in less than a week or two. But the thing is, when I looked at, Google Maps, if you look at Google Maps, just go to maps.google.com and it'll tell you what is important to Google:
yep,
hotels, banks, restaurants, transit, all that stuff. So we
mm,
incorporated all that into our plugin for location pages.
yep,
And that's why we also add that on our website, because we're pulling in that georelevance that Google tells us is important to them. If Google was to ever get rid of that information off of maps, I would get rid of it off of the websites,
yeah,
because Google's literally telling you this is what's important to us.
mm,
I still like M1. I mean, the leak when it came out, I'm so conspiracy based, I guess. I don't know what you want to say, but leaks happen for a reason. And
yeah,
generally speaking, the people that do the leaks know the leaks were coming. I'm not convinced that a multi-billion-dollar company like Google did not know this leak was going to come out and then tell you everything that everybody's been telling you all along, which, we could get into that. But most of what came out in that leak, anybody that actually does SEO, not just talks about SEO, already knows it and already was practicing it, already had it in their standing or operating procedures. So it wasn't nothing new.
there was nothing new,
When he
that's
tells me, like, for example, that the mobile aspect of a website affects rankings, well, duh,
we
because
already
that affects the customer base experience. And why do you think they tell you when they came out, hey, no, we don't like AI? Then they turn around and say, oh, actually, we do like AI as long as it's helpful content. So
yeah,
they're telling you the whole time, as long as it's helpful, that's all we give a crap about. As long as you're helping your clients, that's all we care about, because that's our clientele base. So
yeah,
those little
completely.
things I just don't pay too much attention to anymore. So
Yeah, no, I completely agree to that one. No. So when you say optimizing the websites, because if it's a single location, that's still not a problem at all. But let's presume for a moment there is a local business with multiple businesses, business,
mhm.
sorry, multiple services and locations.
Mhm,
What's your recipe for the perfect URL structure? I mean, like, how do you
mhm,
keep it clean and effective in that way?
mhm. So for me, and because I deal with clients' assets all the time, I have one business and I want, or they may want multiple GMBs. For me, I tell you, it's like, well, the easiest way to get more phone calls, get more GMBs in surrounding areas,
Yep,
right? And get them ranked. Or, they already have, for example, one website and it's got 10 different locations on it.
yep,
For me, I don't advise with that. I advise against that. I advise, for example, now, depending on your goals, are you Walmart and Nike? Are you Sam's Club, or think of some big store chain chain store in any country you're in? Are you like them yet? No. Okay. Do you want to be like them? No. Most people will say no. If you do, that's a different point of view. Now, I am working with someone right now. For example, he has his what I call his umbrella site, and then he wants 10 different other locations. I personally will then take those 10 sites and just
mm,
make location or service area page on the menu. It's a service area, and then
yep.
it has a drop down of all the cities, or one main page with all the cities that you serve, and then has their own links over to their own pages. That's
Yep.
one way.
So the
Each of those, yeah.
how the URL structure will be in that case, because I've seen a lot in the Facebook groups,
Mm,
especially where the people they say, "Hey, what is the best URL structure I should put it for my multi-location place?" So it's gonna be like,
mm,
for example, you saying so they're gonna be a hub page for the locations, and from that hub page, the links should be going
bingo.
inner pages. So let's say the hub page
Yes,
is the locations page, and then they have got Miami, they have got Las Vegas, or all this kind of things. So
correct,
be like domain.com
correct.
slash location slash the place. Is that what you
Yeah.
mean?
So for me, it would be, for example, give you an example, plumber, we're calling it rohinplumbers.com
Yep.
/ service area / Los Angeles.
Yep.
On those pages, you would then want the GMB embedded.
Oh
And I
yeah.
have other little tricks and things I do. That's one way. And
Yep.
I will tell people we could do it this way and we'll see if it works. But this is long vision goals. This is
Yep.
not something that's going to work within months,
Yep.
depending on, once again, what's the population size, which has to do with the competitive density.
Yep.
Okay. Now, what I would prefer to do is you do that same method, but then you create mini sites that are just based for that city. Let's call it, you were originally rohinplumbing.com. Let's call this Las Vegas plumbing.com,
Oh yeah.
orlandoplumbing.com. And people could tell me all day long the exact domain name matches do not work. And I will tell you, you are full of crap, because of the fact, just go to, for example, go to Google. I'm not Google, but GoDaddy, and try to buy exact domain name match
Yep.
and see how much they cost.
Yep.
Most of the time, especially if it's a short one, like let's say plumbers near me, Miami, or whatever, sometimes those go up for several $1,000s, etc. It's not, just go in there and buy it for 14 bucks.
Yep.
I could probably go in there and buy Rohan do a plumbers near me for pennies.
Yep.
It's because it's not an EDM.
Yep.
EDMs I found do work. They may not work as good as they
Yep.
used to, but
Yep.
they still definitely work and still does
Yep.
help your rankings. Um, so that's
Okay.
what I'd want to do, is having your main umbrella site, then multi sites that are just based, that site to be just based on Los Angeles.
Yep.
All the content, all the images, everything will be geotagged and optimized for that city.
Yep.
Now, why most people don't do that is because they don't have the money to invest in SEO for every single one of those things.
Yep.
Like if they go to the normal person
And
that's not a white labeler is going to charge you, let's say, $1,000 a campaign. They come to us and it varies anywhere from less than 300 to over 1,000. So, but they have to find us first, and generally they have to go through agencies to get to us. But that's what I would want them doing. And then a lot of people are not after 1,000 calls or whatever. And if my thing is having multiple GMBs. It's
But
always multiple GMBs.
multiple GMBs, they can get it with the same website as well, rather than just
Mm-hmm.
because not everyone is
Correct.
kind of the same. Sometimes the people don't want to dilute their brand to have
Yep.
like a multiple different domains and then create
Correct.
a multiple websites for every location. Or the second one is like
Mm.
they don't want to take that much pain as well because they feel, hey, I was managing one area website, now I have to manage like 10 different websites.
Yeah, and then on top of it, besides that, then it's all the plugins and all the viruses you can wind up getting if you're not
So,
updating your plugins. You ain't got no tech staff, and then on top of it, a lot of people think, especially in rank and rent, because I used to run a rank and rent program, they think it's an amazing that I give you 120 websites for less than, let's say, 20, $30,000 a year.
yeah,
And it is amazing, but then do you have the system set up? Do you have the
yeah,
call tracking number set up? Do you have all that stuff? And most people do not. Then you run into the factor, let's say you do multiple mini sites, is okay, I went to this site and I'm calling you, but it's going to this other brand name.
yeah.
And there's that trust factor. That's why a lot of people will keep it that way. So, um,
Uh,
but we'll do it both ways, but the structure is always going to be the same. It's going to be service area, then forward slash, the city.
yeah,
And you could tell them, I mean, there are people that go, for example, let's just give you an example. Let's just call it rohanplumbers.com or rohanplumbersnearme.com forward slash, you know, I've seen this before, forward slash plumbing, forward slash emergency plumbing, forward slash Los Angeles City emergency plumbing. That's stupid.
yep,
You're just trying to keyword stuff it. I mean,
yep,
for me, it's like, I already went, if your site already has the proper topical sitemap, the proper hierarchy and structure and internal linking, you're not going to have to put freaking emergency plumber near me in every single URL and every single page. It's just stupid.
yeah,
The only people that do that are SEOs, not a legitimate business owner.
yeah,
In Google, when they say helpful content, they're looking at stuff as a legitimate business, a legitimate business owner, legitimate customers,
yep,
not fake.
yep,
So that's always going to be mine. Is like, if you already have the term plumbers, which I would encourage, let's say whatever your keyword is, always try to have it in your domain name.
in
I
the demo.
generally am always about that.
Yeah,
Now, if you do that, when you go service area, I would never go service, I would never go forward slash service area plumbers near me, Los Angeles, because now I'm putting it in there kind of twice,
yeah, because
that
that
sort of
that
thing.
keyword has already been covered in the domain itself as well.
And then same thing goes with city. So if it was Rowan Plumbers Los Angeles, I would never put, Plumbers Los Angeles. That's just
Yeah.
not going to happen in multiple pages. So,
So, and that actually takes me to the next question, which I was having in mind. Like, what kind of local elements do you prefer to actually put it in the web page, on the web page? I mean to say, not the domain, but the
yep.
web page itself, improve the geo or the topical
Mhm.
relevant signals
So
for
there's
that web.
only literally a handful of things. I can generally, this is the way I can tell if my VAs are doing what they're supposed to be doing too. So if a site's not ranking, that's is when I get involved with my staff. Is it not ranking? Then William needs to look at it. When William looks at it, I look for a couple of things. Is the review call out done? What's a review call out? All it is a rel read. It's a redirect.
Okay.
So where I click on a button and it takes me over to write a Google review.
Yeah.
All right. That code where you get the write a review has the LRD and machine IDs that are related to that business.
Yep.
Okay. So I'm essentially, when I do that, the way I do it is, you'd have to have my SOP for it, but essentially tells Google this person typed in this keyword attached to this brand name wanting to write a review. So I'm essentially creating a form of CTR when I do that. That's not step one, top right hand side. Top right hand side will also have service area, areas we serve, location page. It's very simple in the menu.
Yep.
Further down, every single
Service.
um, every single service is listed on the home page.
Yep.
and then should not say learn more. It should have the keyword and then be hyperlinked to that page. Okay. The next thing I'm looking for is every image. Is it geotagged with the area you serve?
Yep.
And people will tell me, for example, Google scrapes the geo tag information if you upload it to Google.
Yep.
Yes, they do. But you're also assuming that Google just throws it away. I don't think Google throws away anything. They probably have a bank in which they store it, or they put that information somewhere else. So I don't necessarily think it's not relative.
Okay. I
But on
agree.
Web 2.0s or your own website, which you have full control over, it definitely matters.
Yep.
Then I also like to put as well on there my Google reviews. My Google reviews, I want to put on there as an embed in which every single review is hyperlinked to the profile reviewer. In other
Mm.
words, not just the review, but if I click on that review, it then takes me to the actual profile of the person that left the review. Okay.
Is there any plugin for that, or
There's 50, there's one plugin we use, and then we also do it manually.
oh yeah.
So we'll do like the top 20 manually. If
Yep.
I've taught them both ways, here's the plugin that we use, and then if you can't do that, here's the manual one. So I
Okay.
teach my staff. That's the one part I am involved in, as I teach all of our staff and I do all the training. Um, so because our office is literally 15 minutes from me. So
Yeah. So
but nevertheless,
interlinks, you reckon that should be there. And when it comes to the interlink, rather than having those, for example, they do provide drain cleaning, they do provide like, let's say, pipe cleaning or
yeah,
that
and
kind.
that would go to that would go to the actual page.
So that should be going to the actual page, but the hyperlink should be having the keyword rather than
The
learn,
keyword, not read more
so
or
that it,
something that has nothing to do.
yeah, because the Google can actually relate it more to that one from the home page. The link is going
Correct.
to the inner page using this particular anchor text. So yeah,
Correct.
because it's going from a home page, so maybe so geotagged images could be the other one. Google reviews, you're saying, could be the another one. Maybe
Mm.
map embeds could
Yeah,
be.
so the other thing that I'll do, so as I go further down the page at the very bottom, and this little trick I learned from Chris Palmer, so which was the PDF. I remember seeing something and I asked him about it. There was a little PDF. It's a Google reviews at the bottom of a website, and basically, if you click on that, it's a Google Drive file or PDF that you create, drawing it using Google Draw, etc., in
Yep.
which you have the brand name on it, the brand address, phone number, website, and then all the reviews. And all those reviews are also hyperlinked to the profile
Hmm.
of the person that left the review. The
Yep.
next thing I will also put on the bottom of any site that we're working on is going to say, for example, let's say Los Angeles, learn more about Los Angeles. If
Oh
you
yeah.
click on that, that's my 30 plus page geo stack.
Yep.
When you go into it, it's going to have one whole page that's about Los Angeles. And then at the
Hmm.
very bottom, it's going to have the top 5 points of interest. You can do more, but we only do five. 5 hotels, the best hotels in Los Angeles, best restaurants in Los Angeles, best neighborhoods to live in Los
Is that
Angeles.
is that gonna be on the Web 2.0s, you mean to say?
No, that's on your actual website.
Okay. Okay.
So it's not in the menu. And this is where people are like, well, why would I want that on my website?
Yeah.
Well, you want to put geo-relevance on your website. So Google wants to know that you serve that area. So
Area.
we wind up putting all of that on the website. It's not in the menu, it's in the footer. And then most people will, it's still going to get indexed by Google.
Yep.
So it's still going to be ranked. Now, here's where you have to know what you're doing is, well, what if I'm on Google and I go to that page because Google ranked it and I click on it? Well, this is why you need good click-through rate optimization. So you need to have that page set up where if I went to it and, for example, on the sidebar, we'll have something like, um, if this is a plumbing site, for example, you'd say, see the plumbers we suggest in your area or
Yep.
something. Some
Yep.
button that tells them that they're still on the same website that's about plumbers, but you're just
Yep.
putting geotopical relevant information on that website.
It creates more
Um,
geo-relevancy signals to the main domain, actually.
And that's different than a national campaign or an e-commerce campaign. I would never put that on a national or e-commerce.
Yeah.
National brand, if they're, when I say national, I mean, you could be national and not have Google My Business locations.
Yeah.
You can be national and not have storefronts. So this depends. But those are the main things. And then, of course, whenever I'm looking at sites, that's for local. I'm going to create a topical sitemap. Topical sitemap is essentially easiest way for me to put it is Google. When you think of hamburger, you think of probably two pieces of bread, some meat in between, maybe maybe some pickles and stuff. Google thinks of triple quarter pounder, double triple quarter Mac, and all these Burger King crystals and all these different people. And you don't think nothing about that. So that's what a topical map is. Topical map is they're going to tell you what's a hamburger, when did the hamburger come out, when did it get started, what type of grease to use, what's the best recipes, what's the best meat, who made all that stuff. And so what I try to do for a plumber, let's say just a plumber that's dealing with emergency plumbing, is what does Google think about when they think of a plumber? What type of shoes they wear, what's the insurance, what type of tools they use,
Yeah.
what type of issues do they fix? All that is when we talk about when SEOs mention the word entity, they're just talking about it's a word. That is all it is. Semantics is just a word.
Yep.
And so we used to use that argument when I used to debate in religion is it's just the same word, you're just using semantics, bro. So it's the
That
same thing.
So yeah, all these cool terms like entities, TF-IDF,
Yeah.
semantic SEO, and all that schema markups is another one. So all these ones, do you try to encounter add all these things in your web pages as well? Like
Yes, I mean, like schema, we have our own we have our own WordPress plugin we developed specifically for that scrapes and pulls entities and also does a bunch of other really cool stuff. I did that not to go sell it, was originally just to have for our own staff because we were doing all of it manually before anyone was talking about quote unquote using entities in any of these courses came out in the past year or two where
Yep.
they're talking about it. For me, it's always just been, what is, the same way I used to rank even on YouTube. Okay, was people also ask questions, right? And Q&As that Google puts up on its search index. I was putting that inside of my descriptions and things of that nature. And it's like when you think of semantics, just think of what should I write about?
Mm.
It's like what questions are people asking? AI has simply made it simpler for me.
Yep.
Like before I'd go, okay, plumber, let's just talk about, how to make a burger.
Yep.
I go on to YouTube, I type in how to make a burger. I can go on to Quora, I can go on to Reddit, do the same thing. And I can look at all the questions people are asking about burgers and then
Yep.
turn that into content, turn it into
Yep.
videos, turn it into blog posts, and also
Yep.
social media marketing, etc., newsletters, all that.
Yep. True.
That is all topical sitemaps are,
Site maps. Yep.
is
And
taking what,
was
if you will,
more kind of
yeah.
at
And
average.
schema is the same thing. It's like schema will help you or hurt you. Schema can actually hurt people, which is what most people don't understand. It's like if you are a business and you don't have all your social profiles and you have no press releases and you have no information in the egregore or whatever out there, then when you do schema, is it going to help you? No, it's going to hurt you. Okay. Because you're just putting schema is just putting a spotlight on, okay, there's this really hot chick, or there's this really ugly chick that actually, she put on a whole ton of weight and she didn't realize it. It's just, what do you got things done right or wrong? Schema is not a magical bullet. It's just going to help you rank. It's going to help you rank if you got all your foundations done.
True.
There was even a service I started offering because I saw a speaker and I had a speaker come into our class and teach about batch geo. And then I had heard about another speaker, and the first one was Jimmy Sandu, who was actually teaching it long before anybody else. And then there's another guy that came out and taught at one of these SEO conferences of my friends. And I did a one-off service, created it as a service. And I tell people literally inside the onboarding form or intake form, do you have your social media done? Do you have Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, do you have all this done? Do you have schema on your website? Do you have, I mean, literally there's all the found press releases. Do you have your web 2.0s? Well, if they say no, well, you need to go order it here. And they're like, well, why? I heard this speaker or this person talk about such and such, and they think it's some magical bullet that's going to make them rank. And I said, no, the only thing that this stack is doing is spotlighting all the other stuff you already have done. If you
Yep.
haven't done it, it's not going to help you.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
where people, it's like even CTR. I mean, CTR is the same way. It's like, but yeah.
Yep. Now, just a very final question of the day is, will that it's actually a very important question I usually ask everyone, every single
Mm-hmm.
agency I get in. Like, how do you go about getting new leads for your agency? Because a lot of people are saying they open up their agencies, but they do struggle
Mm.
to get the quality leads for them. You know what I mean? There is a fine difference
So,
between any type of leads or the quality
yeah.
leads. How do you go about
But
finding quality leads for your website?
most people think of a lead like this person is ready with their credit card and wants to purchase.
Yep.
And that is not a lead, that is a sale.
Yep.
Okay. And how do I get leads? I mean, this is probably what I'm actually going to be talking about at the SEO conference. How to get your first client.
Yep.
There's a guy by the name of Frank Kern who I would tell everybody, if you've never watched him, to go get his. It's called Seeds of Domination and a bunch of others. Old school. I mean, old school, 20 years ago or something like that.
Yep.
That stuff, okay, and I still have it. I was implementing it and didn't even know. It's like um, there's a couple of things I would tell you is like, you know, I've made mistakes and I'm not definitely not perfect. And I tell people that all the time. If you want
Yep.
to, you're going to make a lot of mistakes doing what I'm about to tell you, but is you need to build a brand. You can't get leads because you have no brand.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, I'm trying to get a job, but hey, they won't give me a job because I have no experience.
Oh, experience. That's true.
It's the same thing. So what I personally did, I went into about the top 5 SEO groups. This is also what got me in trouble. But when top 5 SEO groups, before doing that, you
Yep.
go, get your profile optimized profile. What do I mean? A nice photo of you, in your banner, you want, what are you offering? What's your tripwire? Is it a free consultation, SEO audit, free leads? What is it? Then what sets you apart different from everybody else?
Yep.
Because there's thousands of SEOs and a lot of them suck. And then
Yep.
there are other ones that are really good. And there are other ones that are really good at what they do, but they're broke.
Yeah.
Okay. Because they don't have nothing that sets them apart.
True.
Okay. And then on my timeline, if you look on my Facebook timeline, I really don't post too much about my personal life. I will, out of, let's say, 10 posts, maybe 1 post to be about my personal life. Even if you see a picture of me and my wife, it's generally attached to something about the business, outsourcing or something, whatever it is. But most people, if you look at their profile, it's all about family, 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 personal, personal, personal. No, I will post about religion. I will post about politics. I will post about those things, but it doesn't make up the majority of what I post. Okay. Once I had that done, what's the top 5 SEO groups or whatever your niche you're looking at? I go into each of those. I look for questions. I just use a little question bar that's in groups and say help, type in help, need assistance, looking for any of that, like help terms. And then I find people asking questions and I actually answer them.
Okay.
Imagine I did that 7 days a week, 8 hours a day when I first started our agency. When I only had 4 clients, we took it from 4 to like 50 plus in 3 months. That's what I did every day, manually, before AI, before Chat GPT. Now imagine today you could literally go, Chat GPT, enter in a prompt, answer a question, bam, post that crap and you answer it. Versus you get a lot of people, and it hurts. I mean, hurts them more than anything is where people will say, I can help.
Yep.
I can get you ranked.
Yep.
Nobody gives a shit about what you can do until you actually help them out. And what happened when I did that every day for 3 months, you then become known as, well, Rowan's the, backlink expert or whatever. And so I don't have to do cold email or cold calling.
Yep.
People come into my DM and got to the point where it's like, listen, dude, I can't do this no more. You have ding,
Expert.
ding, 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 ding all day long. I turn it
Yep.
off. So that is how I grew. Then once I grew that way and I have my systems up and I use SPP and I have customer service and I have sales, I don't have to do any of that. And I just started doing any quote unquote cold calling. Right. My guy, though, when we do cold calling, cold call, and then we push them to the group, and then went from push them to the group, we try to get them in our ecosystem. Once
Yep.
someone's in your ecosystem or in your world, you don't have to sell them. And the reason why I offer, like a lot of people, well, William's destroying the SEO industry because he offers things so cheap.
Yep.
Well, first, don't blame me, because most of you outsource to third world countries to begin with.
Yep.
Okay. You go on Fiverr, you go on Legit, you go on wherever, Upwork, Filipinos, everywhere. And that's the whole goal, is y'all make more money and pay less. Y'all go
Yep.
to, in the United States, you go to Walmart for the same reason, right? But the thing is, you know, I was always, how can I scale this? And so we just started doing ads. And we're going to
Yep.
start doing the, reason why we do those small offers. Let's say it's only $25. Well, that little $25 is a lost lead offer. I'm leading with an offer that's going to cost me money,
Yeah.
right?
So
Per se.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'll hold up here. Like when you say um these $25 kind of a sales kind of a ads you were running, I guess you were
Yeah.
running those ones on Facebook.
No,
Uh
they're always on Facebook, and I don't run any ads
and,
selling anything.
yep. And what was that ad all about? I mean, like what
It could
the
be, just for example, GMB optimization,
oh yeah. So and if,
Geostack.
yeah, so the hook. When you say the hook, what was the hook you were putting in for that one?
So for me, I mean, I do a lot of different things. Like for one, like when I send out emails or when I send out an ad, the title could possibly be, for me, it's like, um, let's back press release, get your name in the press.
Oh yeah. Simple as
That's
that.
it.
Straightforward.
Um, I did another email in which, and I learned this from, I believe, Chase Rayner, because we're
Yep.
good friends actually.
Yep.
And it was I have a question for you.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it. And then
Straightforward.
people get tons of responses. And what happens is
Hey.
when they respond, the more times, and the more when they respond, they're basically telling your email that they're interested in what this person says. And then when I
Yeah.
respond back to them and say, hey, can you do one more favor for me for this? And they respond again.
Yeah.
Now, the reason why I do the small offers, like most people don't realize, that I used to in the United States do free work.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I used to do free shit. And why? Because, or low cost offers, like I do a $97 landing page or website. Why? Because the easiest money is second money. Once they've given you some money for a low offer, $25, I
They
can't
get
tell you how many times that people will spend more money,
yep. That's very
and then or it will lead to, hey, Ron's amazing. And then they start sending you referrals. Like I have one guy, referral, probably every week. I get 2 or 3 referrals from him,
oh yeah.
and then I always wanted to get, and I don't do it anymore that much anymore, is get customer testimonials on video,
Yeah, yeah.
not in text, but in video, because video is much, much,
Like,
much more trustworthy. and creates more social proof. When someone creates a onboarding and onboards with me, it then redirects and takes them to a page that is about social proof and has all my testimonials. That method, and then Frank Kern, if you can get a hold of his stuff, here's the thing with, and most of everything I learned is from him and Russell Brunson.
Russell
You have to
Brunson.
be ready for people not to like you. It's the
Hmm.
same thing in the States. You've got 50% of the country that absolutely adore Trump and he's the Messiah in the flesh. And then you have other people that think he's worse than Satan.
Yep.
All right. And that's the way it is with me. I have a lot of people that love me, and I have some people that hate me, and a lot of people create a lot of drama around me and whatever. But the thing is, and people will say, why don't you respond? And the other thing I've learned in doing this is never respond to these people.
Yeah.
If I do anything, I will make an email marketing campaign out of it, or make an offer, or make money off of it. But you never respond to it because you don't want to feed into it, and you don't want to redirect the traffic from you to
To them.
them. Because what most people don't get about haters, and they don't get about the people that will attack you, because I tell people all the time, like, I probably would not be as big as I am today, as far as my agency, if it wasn't for all the people that were talking crap. Okay. The only reason, you should never respond, and the only reason they're really talking, they don't get, is that they're sending traffic to you.
Yeah.
They're sending sales to you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only thing they're doing, is putting energy into you to build your business up,
True.
and those are the things. Frank Kern was a big one. Russell Brunson, his .com secrets, traffic secrets, expert secrets, and then but Frank Kern, him, and then I'm also connected with Perry Belcher. If you don't know him, you need to get a hold of him. He posts amazing stuff all the time.
That.
But that's, I mean, because a lot of people think I do a lot of cold emailing or cold calling. I do literally zero cold emailing,
Oh yeah.
zero. Okay, everybody that emails me, I have an email list of over 200,000, and then that was built up over several years. And then besides that, I just started running ads, and that was in the past month, probably 2 weeks ago. We'll
For
start doing cold
William,
calling. We're just getting those systems set up.
is that
And
for
once those are,
winning, you
that
mean?
is, so the cold calling will be to direct them to get them into my ecosystem, which would be into the Facebook group.
Yep.
And then from there, we'll be getting them, most people, the reason why I set up Facebook groups, what Chase Rayner had taught me, is like, why do people do courses? Because 99.9% of you will never, ever, ever, ever implement.
Yeah.
I can tell you step 1 through step 10 on how to get ranked, and most people are just too lazy to do it. So
Yep.
then what are they going to need? They're going to need a service. Well, here's William. William also has that service. So I do courses, ebooks, services, and I have virtual assistants. So, and that's why we're directing them to that, because that makes more sense. If you will, inbound marketing is 1,000 times easier than outbound
Yep.
marketing.
Yep.
Outbound marketing, the whole goal of outbound is to get them into your ecosystem.
Yep. Now
So
that's very solid point, I would say, Will. You mentioned step by step, like what the best way could be for the people who are just getting started, or even the people who are already in the game and want to grow. It is actually very important that there should be a proper lead generation systems, and the lead generation is not like the people who've been holding the credit cards. It's like the people who would be more keen to listen about us, about our products and brand as well. So now
and
very
now with AI, I mean, it's not really that difficult to make an ebook or
true.
make a tripwire. I mean, I have 30 something ebooks. I personally
Yep.
did not write none of my ebooks.
Yep. No,
None.
that's true.
Most people have ghost writers that write their books and stuff, and that's the same thing I did. And the whole goal of those ebooks are free giveaways to get people into your ecosystem. That's
Into the
all.
system. That's true.
I may have an ebook on voice search, and another
Yep.
one on CTR, and
Yep.
another one on Google reviews, and another one on how to optimize your website for page speed.
Yep.
What is content silos? I got all that stuff, and we just give it away. And then we have the reason I built out my SOP system was for my staff, but now I sell that access and got 200 plus SOPs, 200
Oh,
plus ebooks, all can be used as free tripwire and stuff. So,
I remember
but
that.
that'd be my suggestion. It's like how to get your first lead is really just through optimizing your Facebook profile.
Yes.
And
And be
most
correct in that as well, because there's no point of actually optimizing. There is, I can literally see there is a big traffic, and there is a big lead generation going on at LinkedIn as well. But
yep.
are people really utilizing that
You do
properly?
the same thing. Optimize your like my LinkedIn profile is optimized. If I'm going any platform I'm on, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, all of it.
Yeah, it's like
You know,
putting in the quality content everywhere. And these days, especially after the AI, where the it is so much easy to actually create the scripts and all that. So I think it's all about just get out of the comfort zone, start putting in and taking all those pain to create the quality content, post it everywhere. And over the time, it's a consistent process. I always believe, I'll tell my partner as
yeah.
well that
It's very because it's like I have another guy that, you know, really influenced me a lot. And then I wound up using um forget his name, Desmond. So Desmond influenced me quite a bit, and Desmond is the reason why it's like I used to not post nearly as much as I post. When
oh
I
yeah,
say like I post 10 times a day,
oh
okay?
yeah,
And I might have posted once a day before. And but Desmond's the reason, like, the reason why you're not earning money is because you're not opening your mouth.
yep.
You're not asking. You're not doing lives. You're not doing like I used to do lives twice a day, every day of the
I
week.
remember that. Yep, yep, yep.
And then you take those lives and chop them up into shorts and then use
Short
them
video.
across all your social media.
Yep.
It's like your whole job is to be omnipresent.
Omnipresent. That's very true. That's
Just like God is omnipresent, your job is to be omnipresent. So I've had people, because of what I post on my social media and stuff, literally say, you know what? I don't like you. In fact, I hate you, but I see you everywhere.
that's
And
true.
that's my goal is I
Yep,
want to be seen everywhere. So whether you love me or hate me, you're going to be thinking about me and you're either going to send me referrals one way or another,
yep.
so but that's about it, man.
No, that's very, very good. Actually, the omnipresence is really, very required these days, and especially these days. I mean, like there are plenty of tools around the web where you can let
Yeah.
go, you can get live, you can get
Yeah.
broadcast that thing,
You literally have no excuse,
and and
to
and
not
chat
or
every
to
day.
not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and ChatGPT is something where you can just literally go and get the right kind of a script, right kind of topics. I'll tell you this way. I used to do podcasts in the past as well, and before the ChatGPT, I remember. And every time I used to sit down like hours and hours, putting down the right kind of a questions. What should I ask? What that person is
Yeah.
good about, and all that. Now it is so much easy. You just type in about the personality of the person that, hey, this
Yeah.
guy is named this, the company is this, and the person is good into these kind of topics, what I've seen
Yeah.
always talking about. So
Yeah.
getting the right kind of a questions, they spill out a good amount of questions, and then you can weed out the stuff which is
Well,
not
then,
required.
and then on top of it, one of the hangups for most people I know is for me, it's like with short form content,
Yep,
especially, they're
yep,
like, well, how can I create content, man? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to think about. It's like because what most people think is they need to create something different
yep,
every day, every
yep,
time they post content.
yep.
What one of my people told me, like Chase Rayner, he taught me, he's like, post the same thing, you're just saying it different every single day.
True.
Because most people, on average, the people that see your content are always new. They're not generally the same people.
They are not generally the
Okay,
same
so they
one.
may not have heard your message. They don't know your story. They don't know nothing about you. They don't know what you do. They don't know what problems you solve. That's why even with Chase's stuff, it's the same damn thing. This is how I make $1,000 a day, or
Yep,
$100 a day, or $500 a day. He has him sitting down at his damn computer, showing the
yep,
same stupid shit, and then
yep,
it shows a Stripe account, and then if you want more information, that comment, DM me, and then he talks to you and helps you out, and he earns money.
yep. That's true.
In his system, I tell people all the time, you can say whatever you want about the man, but the man makes a lot of freaking money doing what he does. Sorry, I'm a dry throat, but
That's all right. Yeah. And
it's literally with him. It's the same thing over and over, short form, so they can get you into your ecosystem. Once they're in his ecosystem, his whole goal for short form is to get you on his email list. Why? So he can get you in his ecosystem, so he can get you to give him some money. And that's what I learned from him, and that's why I do it. Desmond's the one that pushed me to quote unquote do more of it. And then Chase is the one that really pushed me to
keep
put out the
rotating.
content I put it. Yeah, but I'm just like, I'm not even doing the shorts and reels yet. But
Yeah. Yeah.
eventually my plan is to do that as well. But
Oh, no, that's super good, man. I really appreciate that. And all right, so for all the people who want to know more about you, because definitely they would love to know more about you
yeah,
after this call, because you literally rock the thing. I can tell
yeah,
you the
appreciate it.
amount of I've done so many podcasts in the last 2 months. I can tell you like the amount of knowledge and step by step you break it down. That was actually the very good thing I liked about you. So yeah.
Thank
So
you.
if they want to know more about you, what's the best place for that is? Is that your group?
Oh, just on the website, williamjonesmarketing.com.
All
I
right.
mean, if you connect with me on Facebook, you can send me a friend request. I just ask people to do not message me unless,
No
you
worries.
know,
I'll put your
if you message me, I'm gonna wind up saying go book a call here, and that's about it. Because I made a post actually yesterday about it. I put all my notifications in a
oh,
box that I don't see on my phone because otherwise all I get all day long is ding ding ding, and
okay.
I don't know, it aggravates you after a while. So
No worries.
when you're first starting out, it's different, but I
Now for
appreciate your time, man. I thank you so much.
yeah, now I'll put your Facebook link in the video description as well, just in case the people want to send a friend request to you, and your website address as well for everyone to get to know more about you. Now, I really
I
appreciate
appreciate it.
time and the efforts you have put it in, William. That's really good. I definitely need to get you one more time again in the future. We'll settle out some time together because I know there is plenty more which we can
Yeah.
get it from you.
All right, man. I appreciate it. Just let me know.
No worries. I will for sure.
All right. Have a good one. Be blessed, man.
Thanks.